I just know it's gonna be a situation. It's gonna be a situation. And so I took it out and everything's perfectly fine. And then I was like, I can't put it back in. I can't put it back in. This is like my third time making this video, but this time we really gonna get it right. I just want to share with y'all some of my favorite natural feminine healthcare products, how I kind of taught myself or retrained my mind to have a healthy cycle. Like, I don't think of my period anymore as something that happens to me, like where I was like, oh my god, it's my period, I'm over it. I don't think like that anymore because I changed the way that I approach the cycle as a whole. This video is gonna be a little bit long probably, so I'm gonna split it up into parts. Essentially what you should be doing before your period, during your cycle, and after your cycle. Some of the stuff will span across that. I'm gonna have some product recommendations. All of that, including timestamps, will also be in the description bar, so you can take what you want, leave what you don't want. Again, I'm not you. We all know ourselves the best, so if any part of this, you know, you're extra sensitive, if you're just not feeling that, you don't have to do it, okay? Okay. In terms of before my cycle, what I really encourage everyone who has a cycle to do or who experiences menstruation to do, get yourself a tracker that really allows you to take control of your cycle. I recommend the Flow app. I'll like put a little something up there to show what it looks like, and my favorite parts of it, but you can set reminders on there. Not only can you track your period, if you are on any type of birth control, whether it's hormonal, normal, whatever, you can also input that on there. And if you aren't on birth control and prefer to use natural methods, it'll literally show you when you're ovulating, and it'll say like, have sex, don't have sex, you will get pregnant, you might not get pregnant. So if you're also looking for natural methods, that would be a great option. You just have to actually look at it and make sure that you're monitoring and tracking your symptoms, tracking your discharge, all of that. So before my cycle, or before any cycle, what I like to do is get into the habit of creating a constantly healthy routine. So one thing that I like to do every single day is take a probiotic. A probiotic is a very personal thing, not personal in the sense that like, oh, I don't want to share mine with y'all, but personal in the sense that each one contains different strains of bacteria. And so the bacteria that my stomach may need and that might be helpful for me might not be helpful for you. So I encourage everyone to like, you know, look and see what's out there, try out different ones. It might take a couple times for you to get a probiotic that you feel like it's actually working and it's beneficial for you. For me, I'm lactose intolerant, so in addition to finding a probiotic that actually works, I have to make sure that the probiotic does not have dairy in it, which is a little sneak ingredient. And speaking of ingredients, one thing that is also important to me and what I feel like is changing my cycle, not only my cycle but just vaginal health as a whole, is making sure that I'm watching what I eat. Whatever you put into your body has to come out in some way or form. So make sure that we're putting good in so that we're getting good out. Things I noticed though that changed my cycle or just my health in general was how much junk food I consume, particularly with sugary juices, especially soda. Dead vision. I just noticed that when I drink soda, I'm like, y'all, I'm feeling a little uncomfortable down there. And so if I don't like the way that something makes me feel, I'm not gonna continue to do it. I'm not saying that you have to cut out all soda, eat 100% clean diet, because I don't even do that. I might have a soda occasionally, but I know that I'm gonna have to do, I'll show you guys one of the tools that I use. I know that I'm gonna have to do that later. So if I'm making the choice to indulge in that right now, I know I'm gonna have to use that later. So you just gotta be thinking ahead when approaching your health in general. So like I said, diet is a huge factor in not only your cycle, but just for your vaginal health in general. Also want to get out the way that when I say vaginal, I'm talking about the vagina as a whole, but for some parts or some products, we'll be putting it or talking about putting it on the vulva, and for other parts, we'll be talking about putting it on the vagina. If you don't know, the vulva is the outside, the vagina is the inside. They're two separate things, although we all call it one thing, or during the duration of my cycle, I like to make sure that I'm using natural soaps. Nothing scented should be going down there, period. Like, it doesn't have to smell like a garden or whatever people think that it should smell like. You're natural. Our bodies are naturally cleaning. Yes, they are naturally cleaning, but we do want to assist them. I feel like people say that a lot and they get it wrong. Your vagina is naturally cleaning. Yes, but we want to make sure that we're cleaning our vulva and we're getting in little creases and crevices because things can happen. So one soap that I do like to use is the Honey Pot Sensitive Wash, Sensitive Foaming Wash. If you know that you're extra sensitive, this might be an option for you. If you're looking for something cheaper, I like to also use the Dr. Bronner's unscented or the baby option of soap. This also comes in bar form if you're a die-hard bar soap person. But if you're a die-hard bar soap person, you should know that bar soap has the ability to harbor more bacteria. So don't be rubbing that bar down there, girl, and make sure we rinsing the bar out good. But I like the Dr. Bronner soap, especially as like a little to-go bottle if you're traveling or anything. This is only 2 ounces, so if you're going on a plane, you know, put it in your little spend the night bag when you go see your boo, or just when you're traveling. This will be a perfect option for you. Neither one of them have a scent. They're both super light, but you still feel clean. Again, we're using this on the vulva. We're not putting this inside of our vagina. You want to make sure that's clear. Even though it's natural, if you put it up in there, you will be irritated, okay? So don't do that. Another thing that I like to use both for prevention and then after the cycle is any form of boric acid suppositories. So this is the Queen V Eraser Suppository, and I've used other brands too. There's a brand at Walmart called BH Essentials. They also have a pretty good or pretty decently priced probiotic also with cranberry inside of it. But what these capsules do is help prevent yeast infections in addition to kind of treating the symptoms of yeast infections. Obviously, if you feel like you have a really bad one and nothing natural is working, like you need to go to the doctor, don't play out. I'm not playing that. Go to the doctor if it's bad. But this is what I was talking about when I say when I drink soda or eat fast food, I'm like, hold up. I know something's not about to feel right. If I feel like something is not about to feel right, or I'm feeling a little bit off, or just kind of need like a refresh, for these, you do insert them into your vagina. I'm not gonna take one out because if I take it out, I have to use it because like I'm not about to put it back in there. But you can insert it with your finger, or they come with an applicator. You push it up inside you. I suggest do it at nighttime because as the wax melts, it does release like fluid, and you don't necessarily want to be out and about in the daytime while that's happening to you. So I always do it at nighttime. It comes with 14 and it says to use it for 7 days. So you can use it 7 days straight. I find that I don't necessarily have to use it for 7 days straight. I just use it until I feel like the irritation is gone. And so that the irritation doesn't get worse. Again, I use this before my cycle. I would not suggest using it during your cycle. Not really the best. But this is all natural. It only has 4 ingredients in it, and that is sodium borate, stone root, barberry, and witch hazel. So I'm looking at products for my vagina and my vulva. I always look at the ingredients now. That's something that I did not do before. I didn't really care. I was like, just want to do what everybody else was using, or I was like, they sell it and it's cheap, I'm about to use it. But now I'm really focused on looking at stuff and using products that have the most minimal amount of ingredients, because that is going to be what is best for you. This is another preventative product, or just extra in addition to whatever you might want to use. This can take the place of those chemical deodorizers that other brands, I'm not gonna say their names, but it might rhyme with like Mummer's Beef, use. And instead of spraying all those chemicals, this literally just has potassium alum, organic lavender, aloe vera, and that's it. That's it, you feel me? So I like to use this before I go to the gym usually. You do not spray it. Don't spray it on your vagina. You spray it in your underwear. You can use this for your shoes also. Your shoes, your armpits, inside your underwear. And this kind of just keeps you fresh throughout the day. It is an odor blocking thing, supposedly. I don't know if it actually blocks odor. I just feel like it's a nice little freshen up situation when I want that. I also want to make sure that our pads and panty liners, if we choose to use them, are not harmful. We don't want ones that contain chlorine. Some of them even contain bleach. So I have 2 organic brands right here. This is the 7th generation chlorine-free liners. These are actually super duper light. There comes with 50 of them. There's no chlorine, there's no bleach, there's no fragrance or deodorants inside of them. It's flexible and they donate per pack. Only thing that some people might not like with these, which I actually really like, is that they don't contribute to plastic waste. You know, usually when you get a panty liner or pad, it comes wrapped in plastic. These do not come wrapped in plastic. They're literally just free willy, which you might like, you might not like, if you're, depending on what you're using them for. The other brand is Rael. I think these ones look more like the traditional panty liner that people may be used to. It comes like this. So I just keep these in my gym bag. That reminded me that I forgot to talk about these wipes that I use throughout the course of my whole cycle. Also, these are called Good Wipes. The down there wipes. I literally love these so much. I love the individually wrapped ones, although that's not that great for the environment. But I really like them because I can literally throw them in my gym bag and go. Purse, we out here. Backpack, it's lit. You got it. They do have the, and I like it because of the amount that it comes with in a box. But they do have the standard kind where it's just like one package and you can pull out the wipes as you want them. That's a great option if you're looking to create less waste. Another thing that I do before my cycle and after my cycle, or that I've started doing, is yoni steaming. You can either do this yourself or go to a place professionally and get it done. But what it is you get a pack of herbs like so. These herbs can also be used as a tea that you ingest from some brands, so you just want to double check that. There's multiple ways to do it. It can be as spiritual as you want or just as routine as you want. What I started to do, I typically do it like 1 or 2 weeks before my cycle, directly after my cycle, and then a random time during the month. So 3 times during the month. You don't have to do that. You can just do it before or after your cycle. Do not do this if you are pregnant or if you have an IUD, because it can cause uterine contractions. Like that's what causes cramping and stuff. And we don't want your IUD coming out or like anything happening to you. But the way that this works is you literally just put a tablespoon or less of the herbs into a glass, metal, or ceramic pot. We don't want to use plastic because we don't want those plastic chemicals like literally steaming into your body. That's not good. So you put the ingredients and boiling water into a pot. You let the pot kind of cool down for a second. I don't have a steaming chair, so what I personally like to do is kneel over the pot. I'll either kneel on my just on my knees and rock back on my heels, just sitting there relaxing, or I will go on my hands and my knees and kind of lean forward so that the brunt of my weight is on my arms, and I'll listen to music, typically have some candles burning, scroll on Twitter, laugh, whatever, we chillin'. The most important thing is that you don't use plastic during it, and you make sure that you follow the directions of your specific yoni steam instructions, particularly for like serving size and when to steam if you want to steam. So during my cycle, which is what a lot of people ask me about, I now use a menstrual cup. This is my old one. I literally had this one since 2018. And I just bought this new one from Target. And so what a menstrual cup is, it's a plastic reusable cup that you use in place of a tampon, in place of a pad, in place of your preferred feminine waste product. There's not necessarily a learning curve, but there is going to be a time where it's like it's nothing that you're used to, so when you use it you're going to be like, am I okay? I remember the very first day that I put it in successfully and I used it, I was so paranoid. I remember going to the bathroom, I made my little kit and everything. I went to the bathroom and I was like, oh, I just know it's gonna be a situation. It's gonna be a situation. And so I took it out and everything's perfectly fine. And then I was like, I can't put it back in. I can't put it back in. So when you first get your cup, or when you're looking to get a cup, the first thing that you want to do is think about your cervix size. And there are ways to measure it, like sticking your finger up there and seeing how low or high your cervix is. But for some people that can change depending on what part your cycle is in, because like as our hormones change, it lowers and raises. So what some people just suggest going by is 1, going by your flow, and 2, going by if you've had kids or not. So I use a small size in the salt cup, and we'll see how this goes. I use a small size in the salt cup. I think I was a regular in the Lena cup. They're about the same size. Yeah, we should be good. So when you get your cup, it's going to look like this. This is the top of it, and this part is what suctions to your cervix. A lot of people ask that, like, how does this work? The way that it works is that you put it in a certain way. So let's say like this is your vagina. You're gonna push it in there. It pops open and suctions onto your cervix, and it catches all the blood that comes down into it. There's little holes on the side. I don't know if you guys can see them, but that's for like air trappage. And then this is what's called the stem, and the stem is how you get it out if you need to get it out by the stem. But I'm gonna talk about ways that I get mine out / what helps me. So I personally like to do the 7-fold, and this is the fold that I tell all of my friends also. What you're gonna do is squish it down like this. You're gonna fold it in half. This look more like a diamond than a 7, but it's essentially gonna look like this, and that's a whole lot easier to get inside of you compared to what I was showing at first, right? So you're gonna hold it again. Let's say that this is our vagina. You're gonna push it in there, 2 fingers. It's gonna pop open and literally suction to your cervix. When you're ready to take it out, I'm not gonna pull on the stem, because you see, like, what is that doing? For some people that can help you release it, but what I like to do is, again, take those same 2 fingers, go in there, and we're gonna pinch the bottom to release the suction, and then pull out. That's my favorite fold. One thing that I feel like people constantly think is that it's gonna get stuck inside you, and the more stressed out you are, the more it'll feel like it's getting stuck. And the more stressed out you are, you also won't even be able to get it in. You'll just be super tense. So what I like to do, or what I like to do when I was first inserting it, which sometimes I still do, is prop one leg up, whichever leg you're most comfortable with. Prop one leg up on the edge of the bathtub or the side of the toilet, whichever you're comfortable with. And if you have one leg up, it kind of makes it easier to slide in there and get it. In terms of getting it out, it is very very important that you bear down. Bearing down, it just feels like you're pushing your center down, almost like you have to use the bathroom, but not total. It's like a different direction. So I make sure that I'm bearing down, and then when I'm bearing down, I can go in there enough to pull it out and release it. That's one of the frequently asked questions, like what to do if it gets stuck, what to do if you feel like it's stuck or you can't get it in there. And so bearing down and relaxing, relax. That's number one. If you really feel like you can't get it out, get someone that you trust and literally they just need to push like this, and the seal will be broken and you can get it out. Another common thing that people ask me is like if I get grossed out or will there be blood on you and stuff. Yes, but it's also very much your body, so this also will help you become more comfortable with yourself in general. Anything that's coming out of you is from you. So while it may be gross and maybe like, oh my gosh, at first you really need to just get in tune and comfortable with yourself, and figure out like what about the process is making you uncomfortable so that you can overcome that. Like I said, you will be having to stick your fingers up there. I usually use these two, which is totally okay. It's perfectly fine for you to do. It's a way for you to, again, get more comfortable with your cycle. And one reason why I really like the cup is because we think that we bleed so much more than we do. Obviously, I know everyone has like a different cycle. Some people might be heavy or heavier. Like I said, there's different sizes in cups and all that. But once you actually see how much you bleed, you'll get a better understanding I feel like with pads and tampons, we kind of get an exaggerated notion of what our cycle is looking like, and it might cause us to panic, versus when you look at it in a cup, you get a whole new mindset to it. You're like, oh wait, this ain't even that much. This is normal. And it's also a lot easier to measure exactly when your cycle is beginning and exactly when your cycle is ending. I have also found that using a cup has helped me out so much with cramps, especially if I put it in, like I said, using the tracking app. If I put it in using the tracking app on the day that my cycle is supposed to start, or I put it in at the first sign of spotting, my cramps will literally be like, cramps who? What? Hope everyone found something that they can take away from it, or just even if you found one new product that you want to try or that you're interested in, please leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you like the most, or what you wanted to see and hear something else about if I use that. You can also comment any product recommendations of your own that you have, that you want other people to know about, that you love. And I will see y'all next time.